So here's an actual message from my radar website. So this is a well-known website that um, uses satellites and gives you weather radars all over the world. Now, a lot of people think that these images right here come from space, and I'm here to prove otherwise. So let's read what they sent me. They wanted me to see this because there's a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of misconceptions here. So it says hurricane season is in full swing, and we wanted to take a moment to point out some ways to stay on top of the storms using my radar. An important thing to note, radar is ground-based. Ground-based. It requires a ground-based radar station in order to pick up the precipitation in the atmosphere. And each of those ground-based radar stations has a limited range. There are stations in Key West and South Florida, as well as stations in Puerto Rico. It's important to note that there is a big radar gap between Puerto Rico and South Florida. So what they're basically saying there is in between South Florida and Puerto Rico, there's a radar gap. So when hurricanes and weather gets in between this, they have a hard time tracking it. It's important to note that there's a big radar gap between Puerto Rico and South Florida. It's important to note this because as tropical storms make their way westward from Cabo Verde towards the United States, they will come in and out of the radar coverage areas. Now, if we had satellites in space, this wouldn't be a problem. This would not be a problem. We would have full vision of the skies at all times. And here you have a site telling you straight up that radars are ground-based. Not space-based, not satellite space-based, ground-based. And the other images that we can't get don't come from satellites in space. They come from airplanes flying over, taking pictures. This right here, all this. You don't think an airplane could do this? It really needed to be? It's ridiculous that people think that their internet works because of satellites in space. When if you actually looked into it and did some kind of research, you would know that 99.9%, and this is what they say, I guarantee it's 100%, they say 99.9% of internet runs through cables under the ocean. They actually run cables under the ocean floor. And they have to constantly fix these fiber optic cables because anchors get stuck on them. And you got sharks that bite them sometimes from time to time. It happens. They have to fix the internet. So anyone that actually thinks that our satellites, our internet works because of satellites in space, they're ignorant. They need to research. There are no satellites in space. We have no need for them. And this is more proof right here that we have no need for satellites in space when you have ground-based radio towers that do the same thing. GPS, all you need is three antennas in a triangle, and you can pinpoint your location between them. You got an antenna tower here, here, and here. And say I'm traveling here. It would just pinpoint off of these three, and there's multiple, by the way. There's not just three. There's more than that, especially when you get up here into the main lands. Except for when you're out in the country or out in the mountains. Then you can lose GPS. And nobody ever wonders why. Why are we losing GPS just because we're out in an open field away from a city? Think about that. An open field with clear skies. An open field with clear skies. clear direct sky to the satellites above, and you're gonna lose GPS signal. Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that, well, maybe we aren't getting our GPS from satellites above us. Maybe they are coming from the ground, because you got major cities like here that have multiple antennas, but out here you don't have as many, or if any at all. So as you get farther away from the city, you're gonna lose satellite. You're gonna lose the satellite GPS signal. So I just wanted to show this to you guys because it's crazy that people don't see this. They're so ignorant to the truth. They just believe everything they tell us. They believe everything the government has to say. The government leaves out big details though, just like this. So when next time you watch the Weather Channel or watch a hurricane come up the ocean, remember that feed that you're seeing is coming from ground-based antennas plus airplane flyovers. That explains why we have to have airplane flyovers. They fly over these storms multiple times a day to get the strength and the image of it. Without that, we would not even be able to see it. If there were truly satellites in space, then we would be able to see this all the time. We wouldn't need airplanes to fly over and take pictures of it. So that's just some food, to munch on. But I had to share this because this is ridiculous that people don't know this. That people are so ignorant. They don't know they're being lied to, and it really is nerve-wracking when you know the truth and you see everyone else, your friends, you and your family, thinking they know everything. They don't even know. Thanks, guys. So like and subscribe if you like this. If not, get off my page.